Early morning in the northern Arabian Sea. Deep inside a United States Navy aircraft carrier, beneath the waterline and far from the sunlight above, the Combat Information Center operates in almost complete silence. Radar screens glow with sweeping green arcs. Merchant ships move slowly across the distant horizon, and routine patrol patterns fill the displays. Everything appears normal. Then suddenly, one console flashes. A radar operator leans closer to the screen. A new contact has appeared. Distance, 92 nautical miles, heading 041, low altitude. Seconds later, a second radar return appears beside the first. Then a third, 3 aircraft. They are flying in a tight formation. Their speed begins increasing rapidly. The watch supervisor immediately marks the contacts on the large tactical display mounted on the wall of the combat center. Unknown air contacts are now moving steadily toward the carrier strike group. Speed indicators climb higher, 400 knots, 450, 500. Someone checks the transponder codes. Nothing. No identification signal, no registered flight plan, no radio traffic. Total silence. The tactical action officer speaks calmly. Track them. The SPI radar network expands its scan, locking onto the 3 approaching aircraft. Their altitude drops again, now flying extremely low, almost close enough to blend into radar clutter from the ocean waves. That is not normal behavior. Inside the combat center, tension rises quietly, but immediately. This pattern is exactly what every watch team is trained to detect. 3 aircraft, tight formation, transponders turned off, closing quickly on a U.S. carrier strike group. Before this situation escalates, and believe me, it will escalate in a way many people would not expect, there is something important to understand. Encounters like this are not just moments of danger, they are also moments of intelligence gathering. Back inside the combat center, the operations officer studies the radar signatures. Begin identification. Electronic sensors begin comparing data, engine heat patterns, radar reflections, airframe geometry. Within seconds, the first match appears. MiG-29 Fulcrum, Iranian. But the next 2 radar returns are different. Another analyst magnifies the thermal signature of the second aircraft. Larger fuselage, variable sweep wings, possible identification, F-14 Tomcat. The room goes briefly quiet. Iran is the only country in the world that still operates the F-14 Tomcat. The third identification arrives seconds later. Large radar cross-section, twin-engine strike platform, Su-24 Fencer, 3 aircraft, 3 completely different mission roles, and they are flying together in coordinated formation. The tactical officer nods slowly. This is not a patrol. Above them on the flight deck, sailors move between parked aircraft preparing for the morning air operations cycle. The ocean is calm, the sky pale blue with thin clouds stretching across the horizon. None of them can see the approaching aircraft yet. But below the deck, the situation is changing quickly. Distance, 80 nautical miles. The Iranian aircraft descend again, altitude barely above the surface, speed approaching Mach 0.9. This flight profile is familiar to any naval aviator who has operated in hostile waters: low altitude, high speed, minimal radar visibility. The classic maritime attack approach. The communications officer activates the emergency frequency. Unidentified aircraft approaching United States naval forces in international waters. You are entering a monitored zone. Alter course immediately. The message is transmitted across multiple radio bands. Military, civilian, international guard frequency. No response. The 3 aircraft keep coming. Inside the carrier strike group, escort destroyers begin adjusting their defensive posture. Radar sectors shift and tighten. Data flows instantly across the fleet network. Every ship now sees the same 3 contacts. An escort cruiser begins calculating interception solutions. Another destroyer activates its fire control radar, not aggressively but ready. Back on the aircraft carrier, a second warning transmission goes out. Unidentified aircraft, change course immediately. Again, silence. Distance now 65 nautical miles. That number matters, because beyond 50 nautical miles, many long-range air-to-air weapons can already reach their targets. The tactical officer watches the closing timer. The Iranian formation makes no evasive maneuvers. No climb, no radio contact, just speed and direction. Then the electronic warfare station suddenly reports something new. New radar emission detected. Everyone in the combat center turns toward the console. The signal is narrow and focused, not a search radar, a tracking radar. One of the Iranian aircraft has switched from scanning mode to target tracking. In aviation terms, that means only one thing: weapons guidance. The radar operator confirms it. AC,